is an insane amount of fallout under my eyes. Welcome to my channel. This is now my second video with my hearing aids in. I rewatched my whole video from yesterday and I feel like I need to talk a little bit louder, but it's still very, very strange and I can hear my hair when I move. There's a lot of weird things, but I'll have a video up about my hearing aids soon. We're just still in this like awkward phase of I want to put makeup on, but I'm still really getting used to this. But we are going to be doing a video trying out these Juvias Place, the Violets and the Berries palettes. I went ahead and swatched these and I am very interested in these. I'm ready to put them on my face because I've heard pretty good things about these. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do a look with the violets, a look with the berries, and a look with both of them mixed together, because I think when I swatched them all out, I was like, oh my gosh, these purples and berries look so good together. So I'm going to show you guys the swatches and I'm going to kind of talk through everything. But just as a reference, this is what the violets look like and this is what the berries look like. So as far as the violets go, I was kind of impressed by the shimmers in these palettes, but the two mattes, I did have problems building them up on the swatches. I'm kind of hoping that once I put them on my eye, I won't have that big of an issue. But as far as the violets palette, shimmers, amazing, mattes, we'll see how that goes. And then with the berries palette, two of the mattes were a little bit hard to build up. It was the darker two shades, and then the other two mattes were perfectly fine, and the shimmers were perfectly fine as well. They look pretty similar with the outdoor swatches, but one of them is like a duochrome pinky gold shade and it's kind of hard to pick it up. But I had a little bit of sunshine this morning and I was like, I need to do these swatches right now because we haven't been getting sunshine hardly at all recently. That is the swatches. So I'm definitely going to keep my eyes on the 4 shades of the mattes in both of these palettes to see if they pick up on a brush better than in your finger or what the heck. And I don't swatch with a primer in any of my videos, so it could be that I just need something a little bit stickier to grip onto, because it picked up on my finger pretty well but it didn't transfer on my skin. So I'm going to start off with the berries palette and do my first look with this one because I am dying to use this like duochrome type shade. All right, eyes are primed and it's time to get into this berries palette. I'm first gonna take the lightest pink shade, and these palettes don't have a mirror, so this shade did pretty well whenever I swatched it, so I'm expecting it to be pretty easy to go on the eyes, and it looks like it is doing that. All right, that one built up pretty well, pretty fast. Next shade I want to take is the hot pink, and I'm gonna try and put this right in the front part of my lid. Oh, that is neon. I didn't have any problems with this shade when I was swatching it. All right, dipping into the first problematic shade. We're gonna take the more red burgundy shade. Doesn't seem to pick up as dark on the brush as it is in the pan. We will see, we will see. I guess this shade just isn't as dark as it looks, which kind of bums me out because I feel like that's such a hard shade to find. It's like a good burgundy. Well, this shade looks pretty similar to that neon pink shade. It's not really a burgundy. All right, now everything has blended together a little bit too much. I'm gonna go back in with that first shade and try and get a little bit more definition out of this look. I feel like I just made it worse. This is going off to a nice start. I can already tell. I'm gonna take that neon pink shade and I'm gonna run it under my lower lash line. I can't believe all these shades are blending into each other. Bummer. All right, I'm gonna take the more deeper plummy shade. This one looks a little bit more promising. So let's see if I can deepen up this look. That's a bit better. It's really easy to start muddying these shades all together. So I'm gonna just take a pause on it. And then I'm gonna take the darker shimmer shade and I'm gonna try it out dry first and just put it in my outer corner. Oh, it looks way more red on my eyes than what it does in the pan. Okay, it worked pretty well dry. All right, and then I'm gonna take the lighter shimmer and I'm gonna put it in front of this look. This one comes off a lot more pink and it's a little hard to see the duochrome on the actual eyes. All right, I'm gonna finish up the rest of this look. All right, and this is the finished look. I put some eyeliner, mascara on, and then I popped a little bit of the Stila Shade Mystery liquid eyeshadow in the shade Charmed in my inner corner. And then for my lip gloss, I use the Jeffree Star the gloss in Soft Core Sparkle because I thought a little bit more of that purpley sparkle would look kind of cool with this look. But honestly, for this palette, it did perform a lot better on the eyes than it did in the swatches, but these three shades were a little bit of a disappointment because using all three of these, they all kind of muddied together. They didn't have a lot of definition to really stand out between each other, in my opinion. I feel like this shade and this shade, even though they look completely different in the pans, on your eyes they look pretty similar. I mean, I'm not mad about this palette. But now let's start this all over again and let's try out the Violets palette. All right, we are jumping into this next look. My eyes are already primed and I think I'm just gonna go ahead with the light purple matte shade. Now this shade was really not wanting to show up on my arm, so let's hope it starts to act better. This seems like it's building up a lot better. So definitely, like, if you're like me and you haven't tried Juvias Place, I would strongly recommend to just pick it up instead of judging the swatches, because if I would have judged this palette just by the swatches, I would have not picked this palette up at all. All right, I'm gonna take the same shade and run it under my lower lash line. All right, now I'm gonna try the other matte shade. Let's hope this one looks as dark as it is in the palette. I'm hoping it can add some depth. That is so weird that these shades that seem so dark are really not that dark at all. I don't know why that weirds me out so much that like these two shades are on my eyes. That shade is not that dark at all. And then I'm just gonna go back in with that first shade and just blend everything out. Pretty much blend everything together, quite literally. All right, so since there's 4 shimmers, I think I'm gonna do kind of like a halo eye type of thing. So I'm gonna start off with the darkest shimmer shade and I'm gonna keep taking them dry because they seem to be working pretty well that way. I'm gonna put this in my outer corner and then I'm also gonna put it in my inner corner as well. Shade has a bit of fallout. All right, now I'm gonna take the other purple shade and slowly start layering everything. I'm kind of going at a little bit of an angle. There is an insane amount of fallout under my eyes. All right, I'm gonna take the lightest purple shade, going right down the center. So on this eye, the shimmer isn't really wanting to stick in the middle for whatever reason. So I'm gonna try it wet and then I'm gonna go back in with the other shimmer shades and just help blend everything together. Now let's get rid of all of this fallout. Oh my gosh. And then I'm gonna take the last shade. I'm gonna highlight my inner corner with that one. All right, I'm gonna finish up the rest of this look and I'll be right back. All right, and this is the finished look with the Violets palette. So far, I'm noticing a trend with these is that just because they look different at the pan doesn't mean that they're gonna look different on the eyes. So the lighter shades are more true to color, the darker shades are not true to color. The shimmers, I like them all. This one is really stunning. I love it on the center of my lid. The darker shades did have more fallout, but I mean, I just swept it away and everything was fine. But this is, oh, and my lipstick is the Jeffree Star liquid lipstick in the shade Clout. I thought I'd match the center of my lid. A little metallic lip moment. Haven't had that in a while. Haven't done a halo eye in a while. But now let's get into mixing these palettes because I feel like I'm gonna like them a whole lot better mixed together. I'm first gonna take the Berries palette. I'm gonna take the hot pink and I'm gonna put that in my crease here. All right, now I'm gonna take the deeper-ish shade. We'll see how that goes. So I'm just gonna put this in the outer corner and it's looking pretty much the same. It's just a hair bit darker. I'm gonna take the darker, more purpley shade and I'm gonna put that right on my lower lash line, just in the outer corner. And then now going into the Berries palette, I'm gonna take this shade. I'm gonna put it in the front of my lower lash line. And then I'm gonna jump back into the Berries palette and I'm gonna take this shade. I'm gonna try it out on my finger this time. And I'm gonna put it all over my lid. And then I'm just gonna take it with a brush and just fix up the edges here. And go back into the Berries palette. The Violets palette. I'm gonna take the lightest purple shade. I wanna see how this works as just a matte on the lid. And then going back in with that shimmer, just blending the edges. And then I'm gonna take the lightest purple shade, that's the shimmer. I'm gonna highlight my inner corner with that. And then I'm gonna finish up the rest of this look and I'll be back with my final thought. All right, and this is the finished look. I just put on a little bit of the Florence lip gloss. This is Mary Berry. Just like kind of like a nude, my lips, but better kind of a color. But as far as the palettes go, I'm actually pretty happy with these. I love the price of these, $14. The quality is pretty good. So saying that, I definitely will be keeping my eye out for Juvias Place palettes from here on out because I like how these are, and if there's a color story that really speaks to me, I'm definitely going to be picking it up now. But let me know which look was your favorite with the violets or the berries or the mix of them together in the comments down below. If you guys haven't seen my Trend Mood box unboxing, that is where I got these Juvias Place palettes, and I'll have that video right over here for you guys. This video will be suggested to you by YouTube, and my face will be right here. Click on it and subscribe to my channel.